Hi, this is Xavier Gonzalez from Viapps, and with this video we are going to show you how to deploy a new CMI using the OVA file that you can download from viapps.org. Okay, the first that we need to do is to deploy the OVA file in the VMware server. Once it is deployed, then we set up a management IP, and after that we can do this, that is SSH. Okay, this case SSH to the management IP that we have in our CMI server, and once we are inside, then the only that we need to do is to execute the first run bash script, and then we can start to set up. Okay, first that we need to do is to set up the keyboard. In our case we are using Spanish. Okay, we need to set up the time zone, in our case Spain. Okay, okay, now we need to set up the host name. This is the CMI lab, for example. We set up DNS and default gateway. Okay, this is the two interfaces that network interfaces that we have. Okay, here we can add more interfaces if we have. Sorry, I don't want to set up more interfaces. This is the IP for the management interface. We want to set up some static routes. Okay, here we need to set up what is the chef IP. Okay, we are using chef as our receipt to send receipts to the nodes in order to install them. Then we need to select here the management IP that we have in the CMI. Okay, this is the syslog and collector IP. Normally we will use the same management IP. Okay, here we are going to create a self-signed SSL certificate. Then we set up our information. In our case we set the default one. Okay, passwords, the default root password, the MySQL password, what is the Viapps ADM password, and the CMI admin password. Okay, by default all of them are Viapps. In our case it's good. Of course, set up your own passwords. Okay, now the script will set all the passwords. Okay, and now is resetting the chef password. Okay, now we have set up the server, and then, well, we are going to reboot it. and once it is reboot, then we will start to using the web interface. Okay, we are here. We have the server name, the host name that has been changed, and we can try to access using the browser. Okay, it's 200. Okay, this is a SafeNet server certificate, and we need to do this to the browser. Okay, we are here, admin, with the password that we have set up in the previous script. Okay, the first time that we access to the CMI, then we need to set up some parameters. Okay, let's do it. First of all, we need to set up an SMTP server. We're going to set up itself, the server itself. We need to set up the default user that we are going to use to access to the nodes. Okay, by default we use root and Viapps as password. We need to set here what is the IP of the RPM server. Normally is the CMI itself. Then we set the password, sorry, the IP, and save. Okay, here we can, if the SMTP server use user and password and so on, then we can set here, and we need to set here the chef server IP. Normally is the same CMI, then it's localhost and root as a user. Okay, now the CMI is fully ready to set up the first appliance. Okay, and let's say how to explain how to do it. First that we need to do is come here to the appliances tab, that is manage appliances, and here we can click on add new. Okay, now we can set up the new VM. In this case we are going to set up, for instance, a new DNS DHCP and NTP server. Okay, we start doing setup. Name, for instance, node 1. Okay, this is a DNS lab. Okay, this is the IP, the service IP that we are going to set up. Okay, in this case, for instance, we can put this IP, and this is the management IP. This is the IP that we are going to use in order to communicate from the CMI, the console, to the node. In this case, this is the IP. Okay, this is a label of the farm that is running. For instance, lab farm. Okay, here we're going to set an email to receive the request of that new machine, and we select here the flavor that we want to set up. We're gonna see here, for example, the tag lab and DNS. And bootstrap command we will explain later. This is the command that we want to execute once it is installed. Okay, we do save. Then we are in the step number 2 that we'll try to connect using SSH. Okay. Okay, by default the template is using root and Viapps as password. Next step, we are going to create the new VM in the local chef server. Okay, now it is registered. Step 4 is we are going to start the installation. Okay, we are going to start to deploy the packages. Okay, and now that we are going to do is we'll wait to set up. Well, this is dependent on the how fast your virtualization is running. Then we will see here, for instance, the logs that is generating. Okay, this is the roles that we are going to set and what is the recipes that is going to apply. Okay, now it is installing. Okay, let's do refresh to see if it is installed. Okay, we will get a message like that: chef run complete in this case almost 300 seconds. This is because our lab is not very fast, because you can set up machines in less than 1 minute. Okay, once we see that, we can go to setup, do a check status. Okay, and after check status, then we will get that the machine is already installed, and then okay, we can configure the Viapps, manage backups. Okay, now that is the server is installed, then we can configure it. Okay, then we will create a new tab in the browser. Now we are managing the node. Okay, this is the name that we have provided. This is the icon of a DNS, DHCP, and NTP flavor. Okay, and we can set up the DNS. Okay, here for example we can see the status of the different services. Okay, if it is running, if it is up to date in terms of configuration. Let's define here a new master domain. Okay, and we can define here, okay, this is allow any, and this is the new master domain that we are going to create. Okay, once we have created, then we can go to manage DNS zones. And we will have here, okay, our new zone. We can go to manage. Now that we have the new master zone to manage, then for instance that we can do is to set the NS registry. Okay, for instance, we can do this. Server A and the IP of the node. Okay, and now that we are going to do is to set up here dns.mydomain.com. Okay, and save the change of the DNS registry, and we're going to set up, for instance, www registry. Okay. Okay. And now that is the zone with these registries, then we're going to apply. We click on the commit changes for the DNS. We have this tab. Okay, and we're going to restart the DNS server. Okay, the DNS server is restarted. Okay, now that the DNS server is restarted, then we can test it. Dig. Okay, we can put here the DNS server, localhost mydomain.com. Okay, and we are going to test a record type. Okay, and we have here the new registry that we have, and we have a DNS server installed with a primary domain running. Okay, and we have set up this an A entry. Of course, we can set up NS servers, MX records, CNAMEs, any other kind of DNS registry that you can imagine. Okay guys, this is all. This is how to set up a DNS server with Viapps. Check out more videos that we are uploading to show what are the main functionality of Viapps. Thank you. Bye.